So I got a question for you guys. Oh.
I still haven't been to Culver's.
Oh. We're doing that one.
Yes.
I went once.
The other one.
We're going to do the other one.
Never been to...
You've never been to Culver's?
Nope.
Matt, I'm assuming you've never been to Culver's, or have you?
Had it when we were in Charlotte. So
Okay.
I honestly don't remember how the food was. It was a burger, so...
It's a butter burger.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it was... if I remember correctly, it was good, so...
Culver's is really good.
Yeah, I only had like one bad meal in Charlotte, so... Yeah.
Where was that one?
Surprisingly, it was Wendy's. It was the first time I'd ever had Wendy's, and it kind of sucked.
What?
So, yeah.
Wow.
They don't have Wendy's out there?
No, they do. It's just there's not one really near where I live.
Oh.
Like the only one nearby is kind of out of the way, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna drive to get food, I'm not gonna get friggin' Wendy's. So
I would.
Yeah, first time I had it, I was like, not gonna lie, my Baconator was like soggy, so I was like,
yeah, because it's got all that bacon grease on it. Of course, it's
Like,
soggy.
they like just like destroyed it with sauce, and I was like, all right,
mayonnaise.
That's
not great. Yeah,
that's bad.
Mayonnaise.
Can't have that.
Davey, what are you having right now from our girl Wendy?
Kinky. She got me a Dave's triple.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted some.
You're hungry.
I wanted like a disgusting greasy burger.
You're hungry.
And all the good burger places near me were closed. So we had to go with Wendy's.
Or it was Culver's and it wasn't on DoorDash.
Or it was Culver's and it wasn't on DoorDash.
Because you had to use DoorDash this week. Why'd you have to use DoorDash this week?
Because Sonoma was the DoorDash race 100 number.
The Xfinity race, yeah. But yeah, you gotta go to Culver's. Culver's is good.
I believe you.
Culver's is good. You get some cheese curds.
Did you guys see my my anecdote I just posted in the USRL server?
Oh boy.
So I went. I'll just tell it. So I went to the Honda Power Sports dealer, and I was ordering a part for my 50. And then I realized that I was wearing a Cooper Webb KTM shirt while I was in there, and I was surprised they didn't just like be like, "Oh yeah, the filter's in the back," and then they just beat the shit out of me in the back of the place.
Hell yeah!
So I was like, "Oh, it's like wearing the wrong gang colors."
I'm gonna wear my best Jimmy Johnson shirt inside a Home Depot.
just flex the
Big
entire time you're
Lowe's
walking around.
7-time champion shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Jimmy Johnson 7-time shirt?
I do.
Okay, you got
I have one.
Good.
Needed something.
Yeah.
I was broke when it happened, so it was a Christmas gift, but
That's fine. Like I collect the race winning shirts too for some of my drivers. Like I have all Eric Jones's race win shirts because I don't think they made one for the Clash.
and there's not going to be too many of them.
Got me there. I might not have his Southern 500, his first Southern 500 one.
Dude, that was
I got all the diecast though.
When Alex Bowman first landed with Hendrick, I was like, I could do the thing where I could like try to collect all his race wins, and then he won 4 races in 2021. I was like, whoa, hang on, chill.
You weren't supposed to be that good.
And now the last year and a half, I'm like, all right, cool, all right,
got one.
This is manageable. we're good now.
Did you get the Las Vegas one? Did you ever get that?
I did not.
Oh.
So
you lied.
Yeah, I didn't even get the Auto Club one. I still need to buy that one. So
yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if anything else happened this week that was interesting.
Sorry, I missed last week, boys.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I was busy, had plans.
We got really off topic, like very frequently.
I know, I listened. It was hard to make a relevant Twitter post about it.
Yeah, I had that effect on the podcast, I guess.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work very good at staying on track, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like at work.
Same.
At work, I'll like do one little project for 10 minutes, then I'll do a different project for 10 minutes. And...
I hear there's a whole podcast about that. Hinchcliffe and Rossi do it.
Yeah. I was actually listening to their podcast from Detroit over the weekend when I was placing the alternator on my car.
Right.
And they were talking about airplanes.
Yeah.
So I guess Rossi went and did some flight sim stuff.
Well, because Rossi flies.
In
obviously.
Yipsy, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do we want to get on topic?
we could if we wanted
Yeah.
to.
Well, folks, this is
don't
Fake
have to.
Racers Podcast. We know you love it, and we can't thank you enough for loving it. Make sure you comment down below, or you follow at Fake Racers on Twitter.
Yep.
Do those things.
Is this the end of the show? Thanks, guys, for listening. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you. Make
Great
sure you go
podcast.
by.
Good
Make sure you get
podcast
the
this
Davey
week,
and
everybody.
Sprang.
Nothing
You get some
happened.
merch.
We didn't have stage cautions this week, so see how quick it was?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Like,
It's so cute how everyone's like, "That was boring." It's like, "That's what you wanted."
I don't want a boring road course race. Then why did you ask for it?
That's what you wanted. You wanted this. We got it.
Martin Truex Jr.
Personally, I thought it was fine. It's a
Yeah.
road course race. Sometimes it happens.
It was like in the background at the party I was at. It was great. I didn't really have to be watching like every split second. So
Joe, you hear that? He goes to parties. This
Yeah.
guy.
it was
This fucking guy.
well.
He must
Okay.
be cool.
I was hanging out with my parents, so
Yeah, he still went to a party.
it was for our bowling league. It was like the year end one, so it was a bunch of people, and they're like,
Oh, it's a bowling league.
yeah,
party.
it was
My
like
bad.
everybody from our bowling league, and they were all in like their.
Oh,
It's like all the
Don't make
parents in
fun
their
of him.
50s
He
and
went to a
60s,
party. You didn't.
and then my brother and I. So
never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
offend.
there's like 5 people under the age of 30 there. So yeah. So.
Look out, or the Big Lebowski's gonna break out.
Martin Truex Jr. absolutely dominated the Cup Series race
Yeah, that was
in Martin Truex Jr. fashion.
yeah, I believe that's what we would call an ass whooping. So
Did you see the picture of him next to Shaq after the race, though?
I did, yes.
That was pretty good. It's pretty funny. It's
hang
comical.
on. I might have to see it again because Shaq makes everything look extremely small. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, he's not that.
Martin Truex Jr. is actually pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a toddler.
Yeah. Once again, Martin Truex Jr. Has unarguably the best car, and does exactly what he should do with it, which is win.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like the most on-brand Martin Truex Jr. win that could possibly happen.
I know we're not discounting him because we didn't sleep
No.
on him 2 years ago in the championship.
Right.
And he didn't end up winning it. Chase did. Or no, Larson did. But,
Right.
it is what it is. But we didn't sleep on him. Do you think
About
people
that.
discount Truex at all for that trait that he has? To just, when he has the best car, to just go out there and dominate? I
I
mean,
think some people do, but I think they're misconstrued because even I, who will make fun of Martin Truex, and I generally do not enjoy Martin Truex, the driver, have to admit that his ability to, take a car that should win and make it win, basically, goodness gracious, every time, is really impressive. He is very consistent. He's never been inconsistent. He's always kind of like we've said this many times before. Drives the car exactly where it should be, exactly where the car should be placed. Generally has good cars. He probably gives good enough feedback. That's probably something that he's good at. That's why crew chiefs like Cole Pern excelled with him, and James Small is getting more and more comfortable by the race. But I do think there are some people who discount him without really understanding how hard it is to actually follow through and go through and finish a race. See Ryan Blaney fans.
Yeah, I don't know if I have much else to add to that. That was pretty spot on.
he's going to take another about pound and a half bite.
I'm gonna take a honk out of this thing real quick. Hold
Okay,
on.
let's watch.
I can't even see it. It was
I
off
had to-
camera.
I had to make the noise for the folks listening. Take a big honk out of it.
Something shouldn't be seen by the public eye.
Oh, okay.
Davey's jaw just unhinging. So yeah, no stages made a kind of boring race. There's nothing wrong with the race being boring.
Correct.
Yeah.
You don't have to fix anything. It's fine.
Do we give up on this no stage break experience after some of the backlash we saw? I mean, you already brought it up, but backlash probably isn't the right word, but saw a lot of people complain that the race was boring. But I feel like that's more of like a Pavlov's dog effect. Like,
I think a lot of people are still blaming the car when it wasn't the car's fault this time.
Yeah.
I don't know how NASCAR's like media people deal with this, where it's like literally people bitched about stage cautions for like 4 years, and then they finally get rid of them, and they're like, "Duh, the race sucks." Remember when we used to have restarts constantly? It's like, oh my god, make up your mind. Like, no wonder this whole damn series is full of gimmicks and like half measures and all these dumbass rules that everybody hates. It's because nobody can ever just like appreciate something when it happens. It's so frustrating.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know like what I mean, Sonoma's not exactly the biggest barn burner of a track. Like, I
Can't
remember
wait
the
for
2010
Chicago.
Yeah, the 2010 race was like an absolute clown show, and it was a great time being there. And then like part of me for like the 5 years after that, I was like, well, why have these ones all sucked? And then I was like, oh, that was just like one race that was like that. So
Sonoma's really only got 2 passing zones on it too.
yeah.
Into 7 and into 11.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the drivers love it too, though.
Oh yeah.
Seems like a fun track. Does it make for good racing? Not always, but also, again, like we try to stress, it's okay, but it's not always an amazing race. It's fine. It's okay. Not every race has to be good or amazing.
Not to mention that like Truex is historically pretty good here. So like sometimes a team and a driver are just going to have the field covered. Like there's nothing that rules packages can do about that. So.
I still think this car is too good on road courses.
I think that is a valid concern that people. It's a weird thing where like one of the appeals of NASCAR on road courses because the cars drive like absolute garbage, and so then it leads to really unique races. And so by like going in a direction with the next gen to where they drive really well, you know, that kind of inherent chaos of a NASCAR road course race kind of disappears. And I don't know. I guess people weren't expecting it to be like other road racing series, so I don't know.
And I really don't know what we would do at this point to make them harder to maybe take the diffuser off, but that's not an easy quick.
That's a half measure though. Again, like that's not. There's so much the underbody aero on this car and the big brakes and the wide tire, and there's just so many things working to make it a good road course car in the first place. Like,
no, I get it, I understand that, but I'm just saying like things we can do to get closer in that direction. Like they were talking yesterday about how drivers didn't want to get up on the curbs because it would raise the ride height, quote unquote, and it would render the diffuser useless as far as creating downforce. That takes away how much feet of road, like. You saw in the Xfinity race, like AJ Allmendinger pulled an awesome crossover move on Kyle Larson late in the race after Larson had that issue, and like he sent it right up on top of the curb, and you wouldn't be able to do that in the Cup car. You would not be able to make that move. And
you'd be broke.
It was awesome racing. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's part of what makes this car so good on the ovals is it's a little funky, right? Like it's a little wonky. It's so much different from what they've been used to, so I don't know. Weird. Next gen's still weird.
Yeah.
I still haven't completely figured it out. Which is okay. That's a good thing.
I don't know do we want to go down this tangent again? Because I feel like I've said the same thing like 1,000 times.
No, we don't have
every time the discussion about like the next gen not working on road, I'm going to keep it quick. But like whenever we talk about next gens not working on short tracks and road courses, and everybody's like, well, just put a 4-speed gearbox in it or get rid of the diffuser. And it's like, well, yeah, but then you're making fundamental changes to the car, which then eliminates the entire purpose of the next gen platform, which then means it was a failure. So
it doesn't make it a failure.
It makes it a failure or not a failure, but it means that NASCAR's initial like entire point of making it failed, because the whole point of the next gen is for it to be reusable and be universal across all track types. And if you have to introduce a special, and to save costs, because everything should be reusable, and if you introduce a special gearbox that you only use 5 times a year, then that's a failure of design. Like,
so there are certain components, yes, but you can
Yeah.
always take away from it, right? Like, say, do you use a backpack every day? Either you use a backpack or a bag or something in
No.
particular like that.
I use a backpack.
Okay. Do you take a water bottle to work with you every day?
I do.
Yes.
Is it the same water bottle every day?
I have like
Yeah.
4 of them.
Okay.
So
Now, could you still do your job if you didn't bring your water bottle and you just brought your backpack? Could you still do your job?
Yes, but not as well.
I would have an absolutely awful time, and
But you could still do your job.
I guess technically, I mean, I would also be dehydrated at the end of the day. So
Point being, you could take things away and still get the purpose and still fit the function.
I mean, yeah, it's more maybe the diffuser thing is, but it's more like the gearbox thing where it's like you build a completely different one just for one track, and it's like, okay, that's kind of missing the point. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not to say we can't make changes to the next gen, but it's one of the reasons why I don't think we're ever going to see that happen is because like it would be a big part of NASCAR being like, yeah, we kind of messed up, and they don't like to do that.
Has anyone ever thought too? But the whole point of next gen is to pretty much make kit cars for these teams. Has anyone ever thought that maybe making kit cars for these teams is so that they can go overseas with kit cars and race in other countries? Like, have we ever actually brought that up?
It's it's kind of coming together that way.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kit cars are cool, I guess. I don't know. There's a tire that caused a caution because it was laying on pit road. Probably would have been completely fine to go grab the tire.
Yeah.
But consistency or no?
Consistency.
Davey's least favorite word.
I get it, but at the same time, it's like it almost seems like a common sense thing. It's just like, all right, make sure nobody's coming down pit road, but then you're gonna you open up Pandora's box. Like, well, why couldn't we done it this time? So
Yeah. Where was it on pit road?
Middle of the straightaway.
Like the front straightaway, like start finish line?
Yeah, there's a wall there.
Yeah, no, I know there's a wall there, but like
yeah.
by the start finish line.
No, before that kink where that Denny hit.
Before the kink.
I think so.
I agree with the call.
Yeah.
I've done enough flagging and track work to know that, like, especially when it comes to pit ins in races or sessions where you can't really predict when they're going to pit in, that is too close of a call to make. If it was by the start finish line, that's probably a bad call. But if it's before the kink, if someone comes down pit road and the crew guy goes and gets it and he goes for a spill or something, worst case scenario, falls, trying to get this tire, and the driver has to XYZ do whatever. I mean, it's gonna look awful. It's gonna look so stupid and dumb. It's gonna look like all the stupid stuff that happened in F1 a few weeks ago, where all the people were out in pit lane, and it's gonna be compared to that, and it's gonna be like ridiculous. So I agree with the call. I was listening to the race at that point, so I heard that caution. I didn't see it. Knowing that information, though, I agree with the call. It was too close to the entrance of pit road, and there's a wall.
Not to mention too, like even if somebody's not coming down pit road, like it's not even a safer barrier. It's just a cement barrier. Debris could come flying off. Like any number of things could have happened. So
yeah,
it makes sense. Like on one hand, yeah, you can look at it and be like, oh well, yeah, there's nobody coming on pit road, so why not? But at the same time, you have these rules in place for a reason, and you can't just send people out onto a live racetrack. So yeah,
yeah.
Fords were again no shows, especially with names like Austin Cindric.
Austin Cindric's only good when he can use the gearbox to slow down.
The 17 and 34 though were spectacular.
34 was quick.
But Buescher was really good here last year too, and I mean it's McDowell.
He's been good on the
course.
road courses too. Buescher has been. He was good in Xfinity too.
Buescher was my ace up my sleeve in fantasy this week.
Dude, I forget who I put in my lineup.
I had a good week. I won by a lot in fantasy.
Good.
Oh my god, did Ryan Blaney? Or no, Blaney had problems, didn't he?
He was bad all day, and then all of a sudden he cycled up to third because of that last caution, and then he got dumped twice.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's why he was 31st.
Yeah.
Where did Busher end up finishing again?
It's top 10.
Fourth.
Fourth. He got top
Yeah.
5. Damn. I wish we could sports bet in Florida. I was like, oh yeah, Busher's like a safe top 5 bet. Like
Yeah.
easy.
Yet Harvick and Priest were right outside the top 10.
Yep. So trust me, I saw that.
Yeah.
Ryan Priest won the ARCA race Friday.
Oh,
I know you don't
normally,
care.
normally I would say who cares, but
You do.
yeah, good. I was, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, the Ford struggles are getting pretty bad though. Like
they
Penske's
have
been
2 wins
again
this year.
outside of Blaney. Like Penske's been pretty much invisible this year.
They have 2
It's getting
wins.
Bad.
Ford as a whole. They are waiting for that new car next year, man.
What is the other one? What am I drawing a blank on? There's Blaney. and
Logano
then
at Atlanta.
I've already
God,
forgotten.
I
about
forgot that even happened. He
I
won
haven't.
that? I bet you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think either of my drivers are going to win this year. I at least had
It's
hope
not
for
looking
one of
good.
them last year, and it wasn't this one.
Brad might be able to pull something out potentially.
He'd probably win in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's probably he's going to win somewhere. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Eric might finish some races.
Oh my god.
Can we
so
talk
bad.
about the Legacy Motor Club disaster class again this week?
Oh, God. I feel like this has
'Cause
got to
this
be.
week-
This needs to be an official segment of the
This
show.
week, their rookie driver he had a concussion. So let's put Grant Enfinger in the car. You know,
Normal things.
great road course racer Grant Enfinger. Where did Eric Jones end up finishing?
Behind Grant Enfinger.
Exactly.
32nd.
What
yeah.
are we doing? Because Eric got dumped. I don't know who. I think he got dumped by Grant. Can't tell you for certain, because I don't think Fox ever showed it.
Yeah.
A
That's the thing. We don't have a racing problem in NASCAR. We have a coverage problem. I don't care.
what?
A coverage problem.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I think summed it up perfectly. And then the 3-wide battle that they cut away from to go to an onboard of Kevin Harvick that showed
Clint
nothing.
laughed. He actually laughed.
Clint said enough.
Dude, oh, it's so bad.
But I think Mike Joy's just come to expect it. I think Clint Boyer is finally realizing what's going on, and I think Kevin Harvick next year is going to be throwing stuff across the booth.
Oh, yeah.
I hope so. I'm gonna be
Can't
the
wait.
biggest Kevin Harvick fan next year.
Kevin Harvick, like, I was still probably not, like, I'm not going to go cheer for him, you know?
No.
He's making me like him a little bit with his little I don't give a damn attitude. Not going to lie.
Making it, like I said this before, I think on the show, or at least like amongst friends, it is so hard to hate him like I used to
Yeah.
right now in this year. I just can't bring myself to hate. I don't like him. I'm not going to cheer for him. Still brings me displeasure to know that he exists. However,
Displeasure to know that he exists.
otherwise, when he does something cool, or like they talk about him, or like whatever blah blah XYZ thing, or like for example the thing in the booth, I'm all about it. I'm all over it. I'm like, yeah, this guy right here, he's all right in my
Dude.
book right now for this moment in time.
Fox, listen. I have a really good producer that works with me.
Right.
He is a dog.
Can't be any worse than
And
what
we
they have running the truck
constantly,
broadcast.
this is all a joke, by the way, but we constantly get told that we are better than you and NBC. Now, granted, it's a joke, but it's still out there.
Yeah.
He is a dog.
I I just can't. Do they like they must not like broadcast like to the race. They must like when they have like a broadcast plan, they're like, okay, lap 62, we're gonna cut to the onboard.
Well, you have
Doesn't matter.
I think how they do it is they plan stuff out and then they stick to their plan. So like 5 laps before, all right,
That's
we're
what
gonna
I'm
cut
saying.
it. Yeah, okay.
That's
okay.
stupid.
Well,
Yeah, let's do this with live sports that changes very quickly, especially live sports that are racing, where things change very quick. Like it's not like football where you can we're gonna go down to the field after the third down, but like this we're gonna talk to this guy because he knows what to say for this, and it's like you can't do that with NASCAR because if you want to cut to the onboard shot, there might be something really
cool happening somewhere else, and we should look at that. We should look at the cool thing. And there lies the problem because I mean it's the same thing with like the superhero characters that nobody likes. I mean that's a football thing. A superhero character. The drawings.
Oh.
The drawings.
I was gonna play a game where, if Matt also didn't know what you were talking about, we were gonna guess what the hell you meant by that. But...
Yeah. No, they're superheroes. Because if you look at their whole graphics package, it's like comics.
Ugh.
I have no strong opinion on this either way.
Anyways,
I've already said my piece about this on the show.
Thing. It's a trickle down. Football did it, so then it's like, oh, we have to do it. I don't know. I don't think baseball does it though. I don't know if baseball does it because Fox has pretty decent baseball. Anyways, not what we're talking about here.
Anyway, I don't care about the comic book dudes. I care about the fact that I can't watch the damn race.
Can't tell what's going on half the time. They did have a couple of really good improvements, though. I know. I think the first week that they did it with the little status bar for the race, I was like, I don't like it, but they tweaked it and tuned it, and it got better, and I like it now. So
I like it. I actually really like it. That's a cool thing.
What else did they do that I liked?
Oh my god! In the Xfinity broadcast, they were there. So again, this is because I'm a Parker Kligerman fan. No, it's not. No, I'm not gonna say it's because I'm a Parker Kligerman fan. Screw that. There was a battle. Eric Almirola is all by himself. AJ Allmendinger is all by himself. Kyle Larson at this point has fallen off.
He's broken.
He's broken. And there's a battle in the top 10 with 8 cars in it, and they all barrel down 2 by 2 by 2 down into the hairpin. And I only know this because we saw a damn replay of it because we watched Eric Almirola. Oh my god,
Almirola.
We watched Eric Almirola cool down lap half of Sonoma, and then they cut to the finish with 10 cars passing the start finish line, all in a line. It's what happened? I don't know what happened because of that. They cut to it for 5 seconds and they cut back to Eric Almirola. What was the point of showing me that? Why didn't we see that when it happened, when the cool stuff was happening? Show me the cool stuff. I don't want to see them crossing the line. I want to see when they go into the corner in the hairpin, like Eric or Cole Custer and Parker Kligerman had this duke out battle, for fifth or sixth or something like that. But we didn't see any of that group. There were 6 cars in that group. No one saw a thing because Eric Almirola was taking his gloves off, and it was really important.
Do you guys remember the conspiracy over them not showing the Rick Ware Jacob Construction car from a few years ago?
I remember that. They wouldn't show it up close. It was all
they would anytime it would come into shot, they would cut away from it. Even when it made absolutely no sense.
Did they ever get a resolution on that?
I don't know. So I don't think Fox ever said anything. It was just people
Joy
started noticing it.
Made a comment. They still don't show the Rick Ware cars all that much.
No, but it was funny too because it was exclusively when that sponsor was on their car. They cut away from him mid crash once. They're you don't need to see it. Don't worry about it. Or oh, they've had an incident. We're not gonna show you what happened. Don't worry about it.
Part of it is TV realized what they're worth to the sponsors. Because if you notice too, a lot of the announcers don't say the sponsors of the cars as much anymore.
Yeah.
They'll say the menu, they'll say the number, but they won't say the sponsor.
Honestly, I wouldn't doubt that a big part of why we get these absurd cutaways to cars that don't matter is sponsors are paying for it.
It is. Remember the whole, here's the Wendy's on board with Noah Gragson as he rides around in 30-second.
Yeah. See, that at least, that's what's happening. I'm not saying it's okay, but that Wendy's paid for that on board to happen.
I agree with that because they're
or the Toyota on board. Did I don't think we had to crank it up this week, but we had Toyota all out.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Matt.
The saddest was when Nationwide would do their Dale Jr. updates, and it was during his last year, and they'd be watching a battle in the top 5, let's go to your Nationwide update. Dale Jr.'s running 18th again. It's all right, cool, thanks.
Dude, Dale.
Thanks for the reminder.
Dale
Yeah.
got his own
Really need to
in-race
hear
updates like his entire career.
God damn.
It was especially sad when he was during that like winless streak, and it's like, check it out, he's still not winning. This was brought to you by Amp Energy.
Or like in the bad years of like the Amp Energy days where it's like, let's check in on the Amp Energy car, Dale Jr. running 24th.
Yep.
Did you guys realize his first win with National Guard wasn't until 2014?
Yeah, I don't like to think about that.
Isn't that crazy? They stuck with him. The freaking military.
You know what the best part about that is too? Is they estimated that they gained a whopping 0 new recruits from sponsoring Dale Jr. for all that time.
Because he wasn't winning.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Or maybe because his fans were already past the age of enrollment. Or enlistment, sorry.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I was
Damn.
like, yeah, I think I was the only Dale Jr. fan really during that time that was like draft eligible. Now that I think about it.
Either too young or too old. It's one of the
Yeah.
two.
That's crazy, but that's very true. Oh man.
Yeah, but Fox, I like Fox. I like Mike Joy. Clint Boyer, once he stopped trying to be all hokey all the time, is decent. Jamie McMurray was awesome in the booth. He should be in the booth more.
No way you think that. He makes shit up. I swear to God, that dude makes shit up. He just says stuff. He has no fucking clue what he's talking about. I cannot
Which
stand
one?
him in the booth.
Jamie?
Jamie Mack.
What is
Okay.
blood
He is
waffling about?
awful. He is that dude just says stuff. I swear to God. Actually listen to him. He is just saying shit. He's just saying stuff. It doesn't it doesn't mean anything.
I'm really tempted to go back and like rewatch one of his races and see if I pick up on it now. Because I've been like neutral on Jamie McMurray.
Oh my
It
God.
was funny, him, Trevor
He was-
Bayne, and Adam Alexander at Portland last week.
Was awful.
That race was just
awful.
awful. They
He was awful.
They didn't seem like they knew what was going on the whole time. None of them
And
did.
I'll admit he was a lot more tolerable this past weekend in the Cup race.
Well, because he was actually at the freaking track.
Right.
You can actually see
Terrible at
stuff.
Portland. I hate listening to him as like an analyst or whatever for Race Hub and all that. Again, he just makes stuff up. He just says stuff. He says stuff that fans want to hear. You know, he's like, now that this happened, suddenly now we got to think about this because race car drivers, they put that helmet on and they get angry. They don't, all the rational thought goes out the window when they put the helmet on. I'm Jamie McMurray. I'm going to pander. I hate him. I cannot stand it. He just says stuff that like makes every like actual person who is a racer like us like cringe, except for Joe. Apparently, I don't know what Joe is smoking when he watches the broadcast, but I want it.
I just don't think he's. I think he's pretty good.
Oh my God!
We're
annoys
comparing
the
him to
hell out of
Clint
me.
Boyer up there, which
That's fair enough, but still,
like,
Clint Boyer is.
Clint Boyer's
same,
gotten
but
better
worse.
though. He's gotten better.
Uh,
They stopped trying to make him DW number 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I feel like Boyer's been like, because I actually really liked him when he first got in the booth, and it was like sick, and then it was like precipitously downhill, and now he's on like a little bit of a step up, and it's like
He was so green last year was the problem.
yeah.
I think the thing with Clint Boyer is he got in the booth and he saw how much the Fox people don't give a shit about the broadcast and how bad it is, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have to try." And then he realized like, "Oh wait, I have to try." And
Yeah.
like he's trying to try. Like I'll give him credit, he is trying to try this year, but like then they'll cut away from what he's talking about.
He just
And it's
gives
like,
up.
man, he can't catch a break. I'll give him that.
You just hear
you know?
his soul just leave.
I'll give him that. He can't catch a break with the camera cuts and stuff. The North Wilkesboro thing was like, listen to Kyle Larson off the corner here, and they cut away from the onboard.
He specifically said, "Don't cut away from this," and they still did.
I was like crying laughing. It was amazing. That was unbelievable.
Like I said, they plan that stuff out, and a lot of times it's hard to get away. It's hard to go away from it if you don't have the right cues in place. Which it's on them. It's on them to not do that. But
Dude, I feel so bad that Mike Joy has to go on Twitter every week and be like, and basically be Fox's PR guy for everything.
he accidentally said that Truex was the one that lost to Tony Stewart. in 2016, and he's like issuing apologies like crazy on there because people are grilling him about that because he's on Fox. If he was on NBC and said
He's
that,
so
and
dumb.
he's up there with Dale Jr., guess what? They're not gonna care.
That is ridiculous. That is dumb.
It reminds me a lot of Football Reference and Coming Davey.
That's
Have
fine.
you seen how miserable Ron Rivera has looked over the last year and a half?
Yes.
Because he took the head coaching job in Washington and he was like, oh God, I didn't know I was going to have to be the PR guy for the worst team owner in North American sports. And like every press conference is like, hey, did you hear about this terrible thing that your boss did this week? And he's like, I just want to coach football, man. That's what it feels like with Mike Joy right now.
Oh my God.
It's so bad.
Mike Joy misremembers one thing, but let me tell you, he'll tell you every option on the trim package for 1962 Ford Fairlane, you know?
It's not like he's a goddamn encyclopedia on NASCAR history for 20 years and then he misspeaks one time and they get grilled over it. The man has earned his right to be wrong once.
NASCAR fans become the CinemaSins YouTube channel real quick.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Dude, that
God.
used to be fun. I used to enjoy that. And then
Yeah.
Now it's weird.
What if I made a 14-minute long video about why this innocuous movie is actually terrible and you're wrong and stupid?
things
Well,
jump the
hold on.
chart.
I'm gonna send this thing that gets explained later.
Oh jeez.
See, the best part is, like, they were made to be funny, right? Like, haha,
Yeah.
funny, and then people start taking it seriously, and it's like, wait a minute, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Now it's just in this weird blend zone where like nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah, I
That's
haven't
where I'm at with
watched it in like
NASCAR.
6
Nothing makes
years.
sense.
He's on his nostalgia critic arc right now.
I watch the guy that sends the CinemaSins videos because I think he's funny.
It's so bad.
Because like the CinemaSins guy will like say something like horny, and so the guy that sends the CinemaSins videos,
Sins guy.
yeah, he'll send him by saying Jeremy gets a boner.
Ding. It reminds me, because I just made a Nostalgia Critic reference. I have not watched a Nostalgia Critic video in 10 years, but I will watch literally anything about Doug Walker because that man is fascinating in how incompetent he is as a film critic and as a YouTuber. Oh my God.
We should make a NASCAR Twitter sins.
Yeah, I mean, we can.
I would be down for that. Carnation tweeted again. Ding.
Like if Twitter had the API thing up, I would just set it to retweet everything he tweeted. NASCAR Twitter sins, and it's just Car Nation's tweets. It is just retweeting everything he tweets.
Just turn on notifications for his tweets. There you go. You'd have to manually do it.
Yeah. Oh man, it's tempting because that would be very funny, and it would be so easy. Him and that NRF dude. It's just their tweets.
Oh, God.
No one would follow it. They don't want to see that.
Yeah.
No, they do though, because they want to make fun of it.
Oh yeah.
It's unbelievable. That's a great idea. We might have to.
You gotta jump on that before this gets released, or do I need to cut that out of the podcast?
We could always let somebody else do it.
I can make. I'll make the account. I'll make the account. How's that? I'll make the account after the show, and we'll have the account. NASCAR Twitter sins, and this will be good.
Okay.
We'll at least have it in our possession. It'll be under the JTN umbrella. We'll file a copyright.
We'll file
get a trademark
copyright.
The JTNCU.
in there, you know.
The JTNs or the Johto Network Cinematic Universe. Yeah.
Got like disqualified episodes crossing over with freaking Maverick Night in America.
We're gonna do a disqualified episode about Mike Seneca's Maverick career. I'm gonna write that one down.
I think Mike Seneca 27th 4 laps down is still the Twitter header for the Fake Racers account.
It is.
Which is the best thing ever, actually.
I hope Mike does race again this year in the Maverick Cup Series because it's always fun.
It sure is, man.
I still can't get over that time he just lied about being at Pocono. Did you guys ever see that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was when he was
good.
cosplaying as a Truck Series driver, and he was like, "Yep, on my way to Pocono," and he like tweeted a picture of like a road sign that said Pocono, but somebody pointed out that the highway he was on is not in Pennsylvania, and it was just a completely different Pocono, and he just lied, and he wasn't on the entry list.
Imagine the GeoGuessr guy comes in. He's like, nah.
No, that's Pocono, Missouri. Yep.
Rainbolt's coming down hard with the damn. Oh my god. Makes a video about my. If that would be an unbelievable crossover though.
Anyway, that was the Cup race.
That was the Cup race.
Eric Almirola won the Xfinity race. Kyle Larson
Fittingly,
screwed
a
up.
week after I went on my rant about Eric Almirola apologists talking about how good he is.
Okay, all right. Let's...
And then he beats Kyle Larson of all people.
He didn't beat Kyle Larson, for the love of God. Eric Almirola did nothing but just didn't make a mistake.
I'm so mad.
Kyle Larson did though.
Exactly, but Kyle Larson makes mistakes because Kyle Larson actually is pushing the car to its limit. Unlike Eric Almirola, who can only drive a car 95%.
Hey, he still won.
He still won. He still got a trophy.
And
Yeah, sorry.
Thought about muting for it, but I didn't.
Oh, was that
That was
you?
funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was
No
me.
way you guys just both thought you had a train going by.
I mean, my mic lit up when it happened, so.
Yeah,
Hold
but I
on,
heard
hold
it in my ears, so I was like, train? You know?
Well, yeah, you have headphones on, dip ass. I hear you guys in my ears too. What the hell?
What is this?
Is that a train?
How'd they fit the train in there? Yeah, no, credit where credit's due. Eric drove really well at the end of the race, so.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's just another classic Matthew being immediately wrong about something take, so.
Can you say Parker Kligerman's never gonna win a race?
Yeah.
Say it! What the hell?
There's no
fine,
way.
Park. All right, geez, fine. Parker's not gonna win a race.
Good.
Parker's going to win a bunch of
Good.
races.
I don't listen to you. I listen to Matt.
I wish I
I
could...
do like. Oh, go ahead. So
I was going to say, he won me money at Mid-Ohio last year, so actually I'm
Yeah,
tapping out.
Be nice.
yeah. You mentioned the Cup driver dominance, and I saw people mad about it, and I was like, "Welcome back to 2012, baby."
Cup drivers probably
We're
shouldn't...
back.
The boys are back in town. Call Thin Lizzy.
Cup drivers probably shouldn't be allowed to race at tracks where the Xfinity Series is making their first go at it. Same weekend as the Cup.
I'm making a lot of rules for this damn thing.
Well, you know. Then
That's
again,
what we
Kyle
need.
Busch...
We need more complicated.
It wasn't
rules.
Kyle Busch winning, so it's okay, you know?
Yeah,
Exactly. Fair.
you say that, but it is. I mean,
I'm
Eric
sorry.
Almirola
It
doesn't
wasn't-
have 100 Xfinity.
It wasn't Kyle Busch or Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski winning, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Or Carl Edwards.
Denny Hamlin, maybe? Sort of?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Denny never ran that many, though. I feel like he didn't run as
When
many.
he did, he won a lot. Or
Yeah.
he won the ones he did, I guess.
He likes Darlington.
Anyway, who cares? Moving on.
Kamui Kobayashi gonna race for 2311 at the Indy Road Course.
That's pretty cool.
That's dope.
I'm pretty pumped about that. So
Mhm.
can't
You'd
wait.
have to be a madman to not be pumped about that.
Now, is his longtime teammate Jimmy Johnson gonna be in that race? That's the question.
We'll see.
Pretty cool. How many more races is Jimmy running this year? He's running Chicago.
I don't think anybody knows.
That's crazy, isn't it? If I'm him, I don't want to run any more races without being that team is.
He's probably like calling up his lawyer. He's like, anyway, I can get out of this whole legacy thing.
Well, I heard he got pissed off at Chevy. That's why they're going to Toyota with how little support they're getting from.
Oh,
Chevy, is
yeah.
something that I've heard.
I'm sure he did. Because he was
Yeah.
used to getting all the support.
Yeah. And that was like a driving force behind the Toyota stuff was like.
We need a better
Chevy-
deal.
Yeah, basically.
Now, instead of
doesn't-
being 6th on the totem pole, you get to be 3rd on the totem pole.
Do you think it has anything to do with him racing for Ganassi and driving a Honda in IndyCar?
No.
No.
Nah.
No, because he was running Cadillac and
Oh,
IMSA.
true. Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, you got to put it there.
I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
Roger
also-
Penske was like, come race for me.
Also, I'll happily be reminded any day of the week that Jimmy Johnson drove a Honda. That's awesome.
Hey, you got it on your shirt. How could you
I
forget?
know.
Yeah.
I didn't forget. I just like being reminded.
I feel like I had more to say about this. I don't know.
Hey, is Kimmy running that race too? Is someone going to be in the Project 91 car? Do we know for Indy?
Well, I know there's rumors that Van Gisbergen might drive it from.
He's running
down
Chicago.
under. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I didn't know if that had already been announced yet or not.
Yeah, he's running Chicago.
Which rocks still, by the way.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so awesome. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait for the Chicago street race.
It would be really cool if Shane Van Gisbergen just shows up and just lays an absolute ass whooping and just is like later and then just dips again.
It'd be awesome if Van Gizzy comes to Indy and then like Scotty Mack gets a ride or something.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Dope, right? It'd be
Oh my
freaking dope.
Honestly, I would not put that very far out because the reason McLaughlin came to America is he wants to run NASCAR, and Roger is like, well, if you win an IndyCar, then we'll figure something out. So, and he's winning IndyCar races. So
Yeah, well,
yeah, this is an audio.
Roger
show,
still
Joe.
won't let Will Power run Bristol. So
Does he want to do that?
Okay,
yes,
let's be clear. Does anyone want to see Will Power run? Like, the fan wants to.
yeah.
Would I, a team owner, want Will Power in my car for Bristol? No.
Why not?
He would fight everybody.
That's
It would
the
be
point.
a brawl. It would be a brawl. Like,
you
I
can sell
kind of get
the
it. I'm
sponsorship
on Roger's
based on
side.
that.
I'm sorry.
You can
I'm
sell
kind
us-
of on Roger's side. No,
Listen.
that's different. Will Power is a psycho animal.
Roger Penske.
I love him to death, but he's a
Roger
freaking
Penske
weirdo.
is like my freaking idol, man. I get it. I get it.
Listen, I want to see Will Power at Bristol.
Could you imagine?
I totally get why a team owner wouldn't want that. That's like
I think the biggest thing though for Penske is the ties with Chevy and IndyCar versus the ties with Ford and NASCAR. I think Ford and Chevy is a lot harder than Honda and Chevy or Toyota
Yeah.
and Chevy.
Yeah. Honestly, I think
get that.
now that I think about it, I think just as many Aussies as possible for Bristol would be the best idea.
Bring back Marcus
many- I mean,
Ambrose.
Bring back Marcus
We
Ambrose,
saw him beat the crap out of Casey Mears. Let's see him do it again.
Will Power,
hell,
Scott McLaughlin. We're gonna roll out like 7 Penske cars at this rate.
Hell, bring in a Kiwi. Get Van Gizzy for Bristol.
Also, I just said McLaughlin was Australian. Sorry, he is a Kiwi. I'm wrong about that.
Scott Dixon?
Scott Dixon.
He's a Kiwi too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi.
Throw
He
him in
would-
there.
Wow, that would be an interesting combo. Like, I can't think of many more unlikely combos than Scott Dixon, Cup Car, Bristol. Like, that just doesn't sound
No,
correct in
Xfinity
any
car.
way.
Xfinity car.
I mean, even that's kind
Right.
of worse.
Oh,
Imagine him in a
exactly. That's the
truck.
point.
Daniel Ricciardo's not doing anything. We can get him. Oh no, he's too nice. Actually.
No, put him in there.
I think
Yeah.
Daniel
Actually,
Ricciardo
no. He would
fit
love
in.
it.
He's
He
doing
is
F1
an un-
broadcasts.
He
so.
is an unofficial American. So
Yeah.
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 Mark Webber. We can bring him out of retirement. There we go.
I've heard Mark Webber is a monumental dickhead.
I
That's
kinda
just
see
what
it.
I've heard. That's just what I've heard.
Bring Jamie Whincup out of retirement.
Jamie McMurray?
The
Get him out of the
better
booth.
He's Australian for this week, and that's it.
Speaking of the tangent we just went on,
Yeah.
Garage 56 went 23 to 24 hours in Le Mans. They had to place gearbox, but we didn't talk about it at all last week.
Yeah, we kind of forgot.
What the hell, guys?
Yeah,
You weren't here.
Sorry.
they finished though,
You should be.
and had like genuinely good pace the
they
whole
were quicker
race.
than all the GT cars.
Yeah,
Like, just, which makes sense, right?
yeah. Le Mans is a power track, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Ask me what a kilometer is.
Davey, what's a kilometer?
Who cares?
There's 2 types of people in this world: those that use the metric system and those that go to the moon.
Hey,
I wish I had a big American flag that I could just be like, "Rah!"
I also love some of the stuff coming out because, like, yes, it was the power of like the engine that was like definitely setting them apart from the GT cars. but it wasn't necessarily down the straightaway because the car had so much downforce. They actually were just so quick under acceleration. They would like power by all the GT cars, and they kept up with prototypes for a little bit down the straights.
Oh my God.
That is unreal. That is ridiculous.
They need a NASCAR class next year.
Also, we proved that we don't need tapered spacers for reliability. So shove it, Toyota. Make better engines next time. All right.
Yikes! You just went after.
I'm just saying, Toyota had a massive amount of engine failures in 2014, and then we introduced tapered spacers the next year. So, coincidence? I think not. Getting back up to 750.
Ain't lying. I like it.
It was like maybe they built a different engine for the car or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Obviously, there was engine changes because a normal I'm being hyperbolic, obviously.
I don't
A normal
care.
stock car engine's not going to last 24
I don't
hours.
care.
But still, if they could
I
run
mean-
it at 750, then I don't see why we can't.
How many? They're supposed to get like 8 races out of an engine, right?
I'd
Yeah,
still
some
imagine
questions.
there's
I
some
don't
minor
know the
rebuilds
answer
in
to.
there, though.
That's like
So,
that's 24 hours at least.
yeah, you might be onto something. Math checks out.
I don't know.
Anyway, Garage 56 was really cool, though.
It was awesome. I loved seeing everyone across the pond and stuff. Everyone at Le Mans was like in awe of it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
The Hendrick Pit Crew won the Pit Crew Challenge that they do too.
Smoked
Which
him.
is absurd.
Yeah.
Smoked them.
Absurd.
Just went over there, and took everybody's lunch money.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, Le Mans was fun.
Mom was fun.
Joe's glitching out.
Joe will come back.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's
Hello?
recording this, so that's a problem.
Oh, yeah. I was
there you
gonna say it's
I'm
just gonna
here.
be just Joe.
I
Matt
heard
and
you guys the
had-
whole
Okay, there we go.
time. Like,
What?
Okay, your camera was frozen on this
Yeah.
end, so.
deal with it.
We did. What the hell do you want from us?
Excuse me for trying to make the show good.
The show's never been good.
Yeah,
Let's,
I
let's,
say that as I
pass the-
derail us every like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's this week's episode. There's no racing this weekend. Well, there's F1, but
Oh, I have a correction to make from last week
Oh boy.
that I just remembered. So last week I told my story when I was at the motocross race and I hung out with Max Volan's dad, right?
it wasn't his dad.
No, it was.
That is
I
really
did
fun.
not realize that Max Volan's dad, Talon Voland, was a motocross racer in the 90s. It just didn't mention that. I Googled it. It was him. So I was like, damn, I definitely should have recognized him then. So, yeah. So, shout out Talon Voland. So, rooting for your son. So, anyway. Need to get
Crazy.
that out. Yeah.
So I got a question for
I'm
all the
proud of you.
fans out there that listen, that watch till the end. I hope you watch all the way till the end, and I'll know if you watch till the very end. There's been a lot of debate about NASCAR Cup Series drivers, and
Oh God, no.
I had to ask you folks at home: do you think you could beat Ty Dillon in a race?
Oh,
Now-
Jesus Christ.
Now we'll answer this question for you next time on the Fake Racers podcast in 2 weeks' time. But I want to hear what everyone's answers are, and we'll read off the best ones. So this is your chance to get on the podcast if you want to get on the podcast, because we'll read out your answer, and maybe we'll just put it on the screen.
Some John bait going on right now.
Do you think you could beat Ty Dillon in a race? You can either tweet at Fake Racers your response, or you could comment on the YouTube video down below.
I mean, I could beat Ty Dillon in a BMX race. I know that.
A NASCAR or a Miata race. Let's go with Miatas, because yeah, you know what? NASCAR Cup Series cars. There we go.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, that's Fake Racers podcast this week. Remember, we got new merch out now on the JTN merch store. Go check it out. No one's bought any of it yet, to my knowledge. So
I'll buy it right now.
no, don't do that.
No, I'll buy it. It'll be my new thing. I'll just buy merch all the time.
Anyways,
Don't mind me, just buying merch.
It's me. I'm the merch guy.
Look at me.
remember, folks, you can
Merch
follow at
guy.
Fake Racers on Twitter to stay up to date. You can also follow Davey at
Davey Hazard, D7H5, D7H5er.
or
Just
Matthew.
Google 'em.
Oh, at msteelman51 on Twitter.
And you can follow Johto Network at Johto
Hey,
Network.
check it out. This is I'm doing some racing that might be broadcast, so we'll talk about it. I think we can talk about it next week.
We don't have a
um,
show next week.
We'll talk about it this week then. I'm doing. If you guys want to come out and support, hopefully I qualify because I'm not very good. But Podium Esports has their Monday Night Racing League stuff going on. There's a Gen 4 series that's four nights. It's every other Monday, starting June 26th at Charlotte. Tune in. It'll be cool. I like when people like cheer for me, not because of like it's a vain thing, but like I like it makes me really warm and fuzzy. Like when I won the FTF Daytona 500 and everyone was chanting "Davey wins riot," I almost cried. It was really cool. I was very happy with it, and it's a really good memory. So I'm gonna be doing that. Maybe I'll tweet about it from the Fake Racers account or something. But it'll be really cool. It'll be really fun. And my quest to get better at iRacing continues. We'll start talking about fake racing again soon enough. It's just kind of been on hiatus because I don't touch an R.
Speaking of racing stuff, I might have something. I'm gonna plan on filming it, but my BMX. You guys saw when I bought the side hack BMX bike, right?
Oh my god, I heard
They're doing side hack races.
Yes!
There's like 14 teams signed up, and I signed my brother and I.
God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting there to be like 3 other people, and they'd be like, "Yeah, it's cool." No, there's gonna be like a full-on bracket. So.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh god,
awesome.
we actually have to practice. And so my brother was like, we're gonna put all of our like spare race stuff on the side hack. We're gonna make it a legit race side hack. So
yes.
Yo, that's so sick.
yeah, I'm gonna if I don't put my GoPro on my helmet, I'm gonna try to mount it on like one of the tubes so you can see both of us. But I am gonna be the monkey, so I'm gonna be the one hanging off the side of the bike the whole time.
That's
so
awesome, dude. That's so
it's gonna be
sick.
awesome. I can't wait.
No way.
It's gonna be so good.
A lot of great stuff coming to you, folks. So make sure you're subscribed, following, and yeah. So long. After this week's edition of the Fake Racers Podcast.